We're live. Are we live, people? My goodness. YouTube really needs to get it together. Okay, let me get my mod, which is me. Okay. All right. Can everybody see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Anybody? Beautiful. Good morning. I'm just going to give 12 o'clock on the dot. Wow. All right. All right. Awesome. Great to see you guys. Just give it maybe about a minute for everybody to jump on. And then thanks. Thank you, Veronica. Yeah, my hair's still a mess, but what are you going to do? Den, honey, hi. Everybody say hi to Dennis. That's my husband. He's checking to make sure that I did it right. I did? No, I'm actually just wearing, believe it or not, a house dress. Yeah, it's time for a haircut, really. How awesome. Hey, Beach, Charity, Just Robin. That's how awesome you guys are here. Well, okay, it's 12:01. No, where's my coffee? Ready. Cat mom. So, I'm all ready. Yeah. So, what shall we talk about, people? I'm sure I can almost guess some of the things that you may want to bring up. And it's just what kind of kind? Oh, okay. Um, just hey, Deb, Mary, great to see you guys. You guys bring up what you want to discuss. All I heard, great topic, Just Robin, which was very upsetting. But I heard that, and the latest 911 call. Yeah, are you talking about the May 14th JMW? Yeah, the app, Katie. That's the way to do it. And don't worry about trolls. I'm actually modding myself under the music. Um, the assault at the bar. Okay, well, let me answer the first question about court date. So I heard Guru lost, JP won, but I think Guru's working on fixing that with his attorney. So I don't know the specifics on that, but I do know that was appalling. Okay, so the 911 call. So I remember seeing the incident report, and it was a wellness check. Good afternoon, Thomas, on JP, and it was coming. It sounded like it was coming from another police police department, and it ended up being Myrtle Beach. Thank you, Steph, for covering it, because between me, the paralegal I've been working with, and Steph, we paid a lot of money to get records, FOIA from Horry County. Obviously, it was Myrtle Beach, I guess, or I don't know. The both of them lie. So she got to it first. I asked for the 911 call because I wanted to know what was going on. But obviously, she found out that it was between JP and DJ. Is his name DJ? Yeah, I know. It's amazing. He must be a very unwell person, Veronica. And I'm being sarcastic. So it sounds like he instigated it. I'm kind of wondering, DJ, yeah. I'm kind of wondering why DJ chose to not press charges, because that was ultimately what happened. I'm going to assume that this bar or whatever that they were at has cameras, and there must have been witnesses. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't his mother like part of the sheriff's department? So why would he drop those charges? I don't know. Unless that speaks of the corruption that's in that area. I have no idea. Not saying the mother's corrupt. He's just done with him. Yeah, it's funny that you said that, Deb, because that's the feeling I'm getting from a lot of people in that area. They are done. Really, just done. And people have a fine line when they cross it and they get tired of somebody. They're not afraid of them anymore. Yeah, didn't want the drama. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think his mom works for, I know she works for Horry County. I think she's I swear it said crime investigations or something like that, like criminology of some sort. She's not an officer, I don't think. If they have info. Yeah, it just sounded like, guy stuff. I mean, it really sounded like DJ was defending himself, putting his arms up, and like a coward, JP pushed him from behind. Oh yeah. See, me and Just Robin are on the same page. Yeah, absolutely a coward, without a doubt. So that's what I think of the call, and I was kind of curious about that. I think she was a lieutenant. Really, animal control. It's not kind of. Well, I don't want to put down anybody in animal control, but it's not kind of a demotion from lieutenant. That's heavy, but you never know in that town. Angelita's been asking me, Micah's mom, you're gonna go to the event, right? And I'm like, you know how many people hate me there? Are you crazy? Until JP and his crew and his flying monkeys are in handcuffs, I don't think it's a good idea. How do you guys? Oh yeah. Well, if it were just me and him, if I was up against just him, I wouldn't give a crap. But it's the rest of them. But do you have to be? Do you? Oh, I guess Dennis is getting a thrill out of this. Do you have to be 21 to sit at a bar? Oh, why is he under 21? I know you do, Veronica. That's only for now, Thomas. Don't. That's only for now. We're near you, I Spy, by the way. He's 20. Well, he was sitting at the bar. That's what I thought the incident report said. This is Myrtle Beach, people. So, Melissa's court. She had a court. I didn't even think she was. Hey, Crime and Theories. I didn't think she was even served. I may have to look into that. I really was under the impression she was not served, but I could be wrong. April. Really? So she was served. God, what a joke over there. She said he doesn't go to bars. Okay, is she aware of the call from May 14th? I mean, I know she's grandma, but, in the eyes of a grandma, your kids can't do anything wrong. I just gave myself a heart. She's walking to me until court day. Okay, I don't understand that. I don't understand what you mean, Deb. And go down. I'll be honest with you. That's, what is that, November 14th that Micah thing was happening, the event. And, that's like right before, hey, Maui. Kristen, you do not have to be 21 to sit at the bar in South Carolina. There you go. It's November 14th, right before Thanksgiving. I think it's like the week before Thanksgiving. And I think the kids are coming to town. That's what I told Angelita. It's really the true reason. So, Japanese restaurant. You're right, Connie. That's right. It's not a bar. No, right. Yeah, that's where it happened. Thank you. Saturday, November 16th, right? So I think it's like, and hey, what's going on, Danielle? Isn't that like right before Thanksgiving, like the week before. I don't know. Around your birthday? Oh. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a celebration happen on the year anniversary of us losing Micah. And hopefully by then, JP and the Flying Monkeys are gone. Yeah, he is unhinged. Absolutely, he's unhinged. And so are the people around him. Hey, justice for Micah. Love the name. Oh, Facebook, you drive me nuts. 2 weeks before or 13 days. Yeah, well, it's an Italian family. We do a lot of cooking right before, so that's just not going to work. And if the grandkids are in town, who I don't get to see because they live in another state, that kind of comes first. So, do you guys want to talk about, because I'd love to hear your take on this. Have you guys heard the voice comparisons for the July 7th 911 call, another wellness check call? Yeah, I know, crime and theories. I feel the same. And the April 27th Micah call. I mean, are we losing our minds here, or do you hear the similarities? Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? Because for some reason it's, hey, Wildflower, it's not on my YouTube, so it's as if somebody had it removed. It is, no, it's not removed. I'm sorry. You can only hear it on the app. For some reason, I can't hear it on the television. Similarities. Okay, I hear it 100%. Okay, hey, Gina. Veronica, I think it was your voice comparison. It was like, what, back to back? Were you the one who did the back to back? Because very much the same. Yeah. Yeah, it is very much the same. Okay, so you're all hearing it. Yeah, okay. The ums. I heard a lot more than the ums. So, when Steph did the live, I just said and played the comparisons. Someone else did that. Okay, well, they did a great job because that really, she admitted to it, yes, and on her own. I mean, we said alleged, because it sounded like her. We kept saying alleged, and then got attacked by Eric Z, and wasn't really sure what the connection was. Really? Who? Someone else other than TCR? I also thought it was strange that Micah bought an energy drink but sounded drugged. Wow, JMW. That is an incredible, that's an incredible point. I never thought of that. So we're absolutely sure it was an energy drink? Without a doubt? Was it like a receipt or something that people saw? No, TCR that admitted she made it because Anita told TCR to call. Yeah, Kristen's right. Yeah, she did. She did admit it. That's right. I forgot about that. Thank you, Kristen. It was an energy drink. Okay. Well, then that's a good point. JMW is on point there. The person on the call has one of those voices. The speech is the same. The ums are the same. The depth in the vocals are the same. Now I can't say without thinking about it. And so, P.S., it ended up in the hands of the feds. Now, if nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it. But it's the quirkiness of the way the people are acting that's got me a little. Celsius drink? What is that? I guess an energy drink. Oh, it's obvious. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Something definitely happened to that girl after she left the gas station. And I think it was shortly thereafter. Caffeine water. Wow. I thought that's what this was. Caffeine water. Okay, well, has anybody heard the latest live? It's brand of energy drink. Okay. So now, and I'm not saying it's not true, I'm just saying, have you heard it? She's claiming now that she was entrapping. Okay, I'm going to tell you, Thomas. She was entrapping JP by getting all of these videos, and that she really is justice for Micah, and that everything that she's recorded or entrapped him with saying, she's given to the feds, and she's working alongside the feds. Hey, Emmy, do you believe that's possible? I got to tell you, I don't. But I'm not always right, so I want to know what you guys think. It's on TikTok, by the way. It's some okay, no way. Remember yeah, she did say that. Yes, it was on a live. It wasn't last night. It was the night before. Yeah, hard. Well, okay. See, this is this is my take on it. If she's in the room, this is your fault because you did it. You claim to be a victim, and I'm not saying that she's not, but you claim to be one. You claim to be hiding behind that logo because you're protecting yourself. You get angry if anybody, figures out who you are because of this violent past that you have, yet you're brushing your teeth with an alleged abuser, groomer, trafficker, and possible murderer. She wouldn't attack so quickly. Yeah. Well, yeah. But then she's going to say that that was part of the game, that she has given this to the FBI if she was working with the FBI. The FBI ain't working with her. Okay, so what have I found out so far about this person? The person that we think might be her has, yes, delusional indeed, has an extensive criminal record. Okay? And so, with that being said, if the feds are going to work with someone like that, I guess Crime and Theories knows that. You would have to be part of the crime, meaning for you to be, no, we're talking about TCR, Ree, or Rye, right? Okay, I just don't want to say her name. I don't know. She's had videos removed from my platforms. Anyhow, that I had her name on. So, and whatever, that's fine. Kristen, I love her. So the only way they're going to use an informant, I've heard something similar to PR, Deb, is if they're involved in the crime themselves, that they've had some sort of involvement in it. So does she really want to put herself there? I mean, because we're talking about some major crimes going on. It's like an onion. Every time we peel back one layer, 12 disgustingly stinky layers come out of nowhere with JP Miller. So would she make a reference to that she was a music manager? Has she admitted? She said that she was very badly doxxed by Cassie, whatever her name is. I don't recall seeing that. I miss a lot of things, so that's very possible I didn't. Did you guys see any of that? Did you see Casey in that group? What do you call them again? So-called mess. Out her and who she is? Okay. Yeah, she's claiming that she doxed her, and I really don't. Not that I watch them, but I'm just saying. Chelsea did. Now it's Chelsea. Maricon. This woman. TCR changes her mind. Okay. Christy, you have an idea? Well, okay. If you think it's Dr. Dana, I don't think it's her. And I wouldn't want to ruin somebody's rep and license if it's not. I really don't see it being her. Yeah, crime and theories, you're not missing really anything. Um, Sometimes I wonder why I'm there. I'm there because there's a lot of people that are on there and prefer not to be here. And I don't know why, because YouTube is a default app in everybody's phone, I thought. She's going to reveal herself. Okay, let's take into consideration, Connie. This was the same person twice who said, I'm no longer going to be involved with the Micah Miller case and I'm stepping back. When is that going to happen? Anybody? I'm going to throw a party. Okay, if you're watching over your kids, November 8th, okay. All right, we'll watch. And why? Okay, so, oh my God, you need to drink with these people. So if you're protecting your identity because of DV, why would you announce who you're going to be? Like, why is she going to get rid of the abuser November 10th? I mean, is something happening that's... Absolutely, yes. There is massive narcissism going on with this chick. Self-importance, I don't know why either. I really don't. I don't get it. But I thought she's a liar. Right, thank you. Kristen, yeah. And a big billboard over 95 is what it should say. TCR, liar. Okay, well, you were in the group, Christy? Which one? The TCR, Anita, Miss Khan, Queen Sheep group? Oh, I see. Well, listen, a lot of people online hide behind, sorry guys, I hit the table, hide behind a name, and for whatever reason, they may be protecting themselves from a job and whatever, and that's fine. Do whatever you got to do, but stop instigating trouble then. Wouldn't that make sense? That's kind of what I said in the video yesterday. Stop starting fires all over the place. And I'm using that from you, Mary. And that's what she does. Right, Krista. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. And so if it's that bad and you're protecting a family, keyboard warriors indeed, why would you give yourself away? DPS court 11-7. She's running for running the stop sign. Maybe she expects him to go to jail from running a stop sign. I mean, if that's the case, I would have been in jail a long time ago. Okay, well, and I didn't do it on purpose. I did a rolling stop. So, wolves behind sheep's clothing. Yeah, okay, well, I guess we'll have to see. I hate that I'm going to be the TikTok news channel for YouTube, but that's what's been happening. Of course, she's attacking me left and right, and it's not like it's the first time I've ever been attacked, but I wish she'd be a little more original about it. Give me a laugh or something. But whatever, People who tell the truth are hated by people who are used to lying. We're a threat to them. And my face is out there, whether it's messy hair, neat hair, short hair, long hair, whatever the hell. Here I am. There is no AI going on here, people. And so, and not just that, my identity is out there as well. So thank you, Vivian. That's sweet. But my point is, it's the real thing here. Okay. Yes, she is bully a little bit. Yeah. And I feel bad for those women, not Anita, because Anita's in on it, but the other two. What's their names again? Miss Khan and the sheep woman. I think that cognitive dissonance. You know what I mean about cognitive dissonance? Thank you. Thank you for saying I'm fabulous, Kelly. Thank you guys. You're awesome. And again, it's not, it's so trite, some of the things that they come up with. Misty Gypsy. Okay. Misty Gypsy. I barely know anything about her except that she was screaming profanities at Robbie Harvey last week. And I mean, I don't really know Robbie that well or anything. I've spoken to him a few times, but boy, did he take that well. Thank you, Vivian. Totally took that. All this is on TikTok. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you guys this. I mean, it wouldn't be a shock. I've got a couple of accounts on TikTok. And so the one that everybody knows about, which is the music at Electsunis. And then I got a couple of other ones where I just kind of, show up and listen to, what's going on. But then I also have girls that I work with. One in particular, she's feisty and has a lot of energy. She's also in the legal industry or legal field, and she records. She listens and records. She's got a lot of patience. God bless her. Definitely a blessing for me. Misty plays both sides. Misty plays both. I really don't have much experience with Misty. I got to tell you, it's the only time I've ever really seen anything about her from her was when she was getting really hot with Robbie Harvey. Queen Sheep gave her. Oh, so Queen Sheep was part of what do you call that so-called mess group? Is that true? No, she was not. No, okay. Because she was the one who said that I supported so-called mess, and that's why I made that video yesterday. I'm going, really? Where's your proof? Nice to have a panel. Yeah. Well, I'm working on it. My guru actually hooked us up with, I think it's the same one that CJ uses. You know where that came from? Me supporting the. Thank you, baby. What do you mean, Emmy? You know which one came from that comment? All right, honey. I'll talk to you soon. Nice dinner tonight. How I got aligned with them? How'd I get aligned with them? I was like a target. He's so awesome. I'm telling you, I'm blessed. I get aligned with them. How did that happen? Oh, you mean the chat that I was told to leave? Okie dokie. Well, that was through protesting. I was invited by Rob and Millie. Yes. Okay. No, I didn't. It had nothing to do with that group. It had to do with the protesters. And I was invited to this chat. It was a local something or other, local beach events or something. Yes, misinformation indeed. Okay, well, if that's where it came from, then I can see why. I was there for a very short period of time, but I was invited by Millie and Rob because I was, calling the ACLU and, calling lawyers and the media and everything for what was going on with the protesters, and also praying over them. And Millie and Rob invited me, and then I think within like a week of being there, I made a comment about a protest coming up, and Casey, whatever the hell, had said, this is a local group, and if you're not, local, you shouldn't be here. I was in Fort Lauderdale 27 years. That's where I did all my medical. I worked with geriatrics to Humana. Love that job, by the way. Car accident stopped all that. Anyhow, I saw the video about Chris Skinner. That I think is going to come up eventually. Anyhow, so I left the group. I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, okay, local group, fine, I'm out of here. No, no, I'm actually near an Air Force base, right outside an Air Force Marine base in Georgia. Right outside of it. So what was I saying? So anyway, so I left that group and I started the Justice for Micah group in Facebook Messenger. Okay. Oh, I don't see why. Is it a bad group, the whole group? I don't know. Anyhow, I invited them all to come, the protesters to come into that group so that we could keep up with protesting stuff. And then when there was a live done that Cassie did, that she was like holding a teddy bear and sitting there smirking, and they're all kind of sitting there going, just making fun of Anne and saying all kinds of stuff. I said, all right, I'm out of here. So I left my own group, I left my own group. So I was like, whatever, they're protesters. I'm not there. So a screenshot with your magazine name was in a post from Sierra. It was actually over a side about so-called mess. Not sure if that's why you were thought to be involved. Never. Well, remember, there's Photoshop people, but no, I wouldn't think that Sierra would do that, but no. Never been part of that group. Never had a reason to be part of that group. No. Maybe it's not, but I still, the fact of the matter is I've never been part of it. I created, I guess it was not Justice for Micah. I mean, that's just somebody else created that. But I think it was called Justice for Micah or Protest from, I can't remember what it was. I left it. I wasn't even there, maybe 2 weeks or a week, not even. It was very short-lived. And something happened between, like an argument or words were said between CJ and Casey, whatever. And I guess because I was on CJ's shows, somehow I got connected with the fight, and then I was being stranger danger. Yeah, so it's amazing how I get hooked into things and I'm just kind of floating all by myself. And oh yeah, thank you. That would be nice. Completely forgot about that like button. Yeah, help me out, guys. So Micah's mom, drama indeed. Micah's mother. So after the 911 call from the neighbor, from Andy, I guess that's his name, and there was only so far you could go, and then the Fair Bluff thing happened, and I was ready to bow out. And God bless Sierra. I pray for her every night. I pray for all of them every night, me and my husband. Angelita found my name or my number. No, she found my name on Facebook through her aunt that's been watching me. And so she said, you got to get in touch with this Ann girl. So she contacted me in Facebook Messenger. I'm telling you this for a reason. And when I realized who it was, I immediately gave her my phone number and said, call me when you're ready. 4 hours we were on the phone that first night. I listened to this woman sob. And let me tell you something. I've got a beautiful daughter in her 30s, and I'm just imagining what that pain is like. As a matter of fact, you can't imagine. I don't think you can unless you're there, and I would never want to be there. Anyhow, I've listened to her really struggle through this grief. Really, really struggle. And then I started to ask her about medical, started going to, what's the deal? What medications are you taking? She was showing me. And then we were talking about symptoms and what she was, feeling and everything. And it seems like, just like her daughter, she's not being treated properly, not being seen by the right doctors. So that's being taken care of right now. Yeah. And then I got to tell you this because it's very important. This is why you guys go, why do you respond to these people with the drama? Every time TCR, one of those girls, says something bad about the family, and she hears about it, Angelita, she gets so upset, she gets sick. One of the times I was on the phone with her, she was crying so hard, she started to throw up. And I was livid I had to control myself, like angry, like curse words angry, So I had to chill. That took about a day. And then it hurts a lot to hear this woman in that much pain. I don't give a crap what she did in her past. I don't care. When you listen to some of those, what do you call it, interviews that Agatha May, God bless that woman. I don't know if you guys saw that she aired, I think it was under members only. If it was, I'm sorry, guys. But she did. She got a hold of the interviews that TCR was doing of J.P. Miller. He just disparages Micah and that family like you would not believe. And there was something that he said that kind of gave away, and he might have said this before too, and you guys might have heard it, where he talks about Angelita like she's scary, like she's crazy, I don't know about you, but if my 15-year-old daughter was being targeted by a 28, 29, 30-year-old, whatever, married pastor, I'd go ape SHIT too. Okay. Like there would be another side of me that I'd need holy water or something. There'd be a real problem. You know what I mean? Right. So, and anybody out there has daughter. Yeah. Right. So his complaint is that's how Angelita reacted. Well, of course. I mean, consider yourself lucky. There's an Air Force family that they didn't take you out. You know what I mean? Also, Deb, you're right. And so they've been calling him out. And so, of course, anybody that calls him out, there's something he does everything he can to destroy their character. And the truth of the matter is, and believe it or not, what's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow, me and Angelita have a meeting with a producer from UK who's going to do a documentary on Micah. God bless it. And so on there, she's going to, Junior is JP. She's going to explain that a lot of the things that was going on with Micah was held, from her. She did not know about a lot of the abuse that was going on until after Micah passed away. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That, I have 3 kids that I love absolutely. My son just turned 40 on Monday. My daughter is 38 and my youngest is 36. And I look at their faces and they look happy and they look healthy and they, looks like everything is going great. And God forbid I were to lose one of them and then find out they had been going through their own personal hell and I knew nothing about it. I would be as sick as Angelita too. TCR and her gang. Every time, Kristen, every time these chicks say something bad about her, Angelita, or her family, her other kids, or Micah, this woman gets so sick over it. JLR is awesome. I like to talk about JLR. And I know, Veronica, you've been working with the fisherman, so forgive me. I know I harp on this. I can't get over that first interview. I can't get past it. There are just some things that I just can't get past. And I don't know if you guys remember it, but it's on JLR's channel. I'm trying to remember what the date was. May 10th? It was very early May. If she's seen proof, of the marriage license. No, Danielle, but that's true. The first one, yes, the very first one, the JLR. No, but I will, Danielle. Thank you for reminding me. And that's the one I can't get past. And that's the one I sent to, what's his name again? Jack Fox, the speech analysis. Message you? Okay. Christy, are you on Facebook at all? If you don't mind, just, you can either find me under the, it's probably easier to find me under the magazine and just, say, hey, it's me, Christy. And then we could talk from there. First interview. So, okay, so I would go on JLR, and I'm almost positive it's dated May 10th, but it's somewhere around there, give or take a day or two. And in the beginning was the local news that did the, interview. And then right after that, JLR jumps in. And there were key words that the fisherman said. So what do you think, I Spy, about Johnny? I Spy. What I only saw the first one of Veronica's. And what's your take on it? Oh, somebody said something about 127. Wait, let me go back. Call Charles, yeah. Right, Kristen, yeah. There's just certain things. Is the whole family still grieving and will be for years? Oh, yeah, think about the holidays coming up. I'm worried about the holidays. This is their first holiday without her. And she was the oldest out of all of the girls, of the Francis girls. Well, I think Veronica's just trying to get to the truth, Who? Okay, Vivian, I'm not. I might have missed what you said. Oh, I'm sorry, Christy. I'm so sorry about that. We will talk. I. Oh no, I don't think. See, listen, let me tell you something. They were very close. Those girls. They were very close. Those kids. And it's like losing a part of you. How do you come to grips with that? And it is raw for this family, Yeah, it doesn't give a date. If you look under the video in the description part, it should give a date. YouTube automatically gives a date when a video is uploaded, so it should be there. Where's I Spy at? Maybe it's, there's only so many characters you can put. Veronica, if at best, 5'7". Okay. See, I knew it was 5 something. It was around there. Okay, that's it. And there's a local, I forgot her name too, something Jackson, I think, that interviews him first, very friendly, like, whatever. And then JLR jumps in after. And there's a couple of words that he says. Again, and this is where Anita Hunt comes in. She's very, very pro JP and also pro the fisherman. My issue with the fisherman is his connection to Charles McKinnon. My issue with Charles McKinnon is his connection, all connected now. You can find this on Facebook, for crying out loud. It's not like they hide it, to Tommy Walters. My issue with Tommy Walters is, why does Micah's phone ping right in front of his house? Just give me an answer to that, and I'll let it go. I'm not saying they did anything, but J.P. Miller seems to have this ability to get people to do things that they normally wouldn't do. And it's not as if Robeson County wasn't targeted, you know what I mean, as the place where, well, this is a good place to do this. Nobody will figure it out. Remember, you got to think about how these people were thinking at the time. They expected for it to just all go away. They never expected on October, 9th, that we'd still be talking about it. Your common denominators. Yeah. Now, I mean, you put together the fact that we're all in hyperinflation. Money talks. Thank you, Gina. And so this is an area where people struggle, right? Struggle bad. And then here comes Mr. Miller with his big pockets, paying people off to go, hey, you pick up that bag and you pick up those glasses and you do this and that, and you help him out, and you go and you find the body and act like you just stumbled. How do you stumble over it? It took 5 minutes, we timed it, for CJ and Trey to go in through a boat. It's not like she was found at the entrance. She was like, yeah, it was 5 minutes of a drive by boat. Why the hell would Micah go back there? Now, what I find interesting is me and the girls that had been working together, and somebody had showed me this. You know, when you open up your Google Maps, at least for me, I get the satellite version, like right away. It just opens up to the satellite version. So if you look over Lumber River State Park, you see trees. You don't really see anything. But if you switch it over to terrain, then you're going to see this little teeny river behind 1281 Princess Anne Road. And it's not that far. I think me and my husband figured it out to be like a little less than 2 miles, like 1 point. I don't remember. Anyway, I have it written down somewhere. So if you follow it, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's right where she was found. Boom. And there was definitely plenty of time to get her there. His story, yeah. His story. So I'm not sure if you guys ever saw the breakdown of the conversation that Jack Fox gave me of what Johnny had said. I gave Jack Fox all of the interviews, all of them, to look over. And I think he was going to do an even deeper dive on it. I just haven't heard from him yet. Just like the death of Skinner's husband, exactly. And Micah's death, I think, was a Pandora's box. I always felt that way from the beginning. Just from the beginning. His announcement of her death is something we can't gloss over either. How did you know the manner of her death if the ME didn't even know the manner of her death? I find that suspicious. Why would they tell you over the phone? The protocol throughout this whole country, probably even further, is that you don't tell anybody anything over the phone because you don't know who you're talking to. They have to come in, show ID, and that they even have the right to get that kind of information. You have to be like a next of kin or a family member. You can't just stroll into a morgue and say, hey, can you tell me why that guy's dead? It doesn't work that way. So he gives himself up, and then he gets mad because we say, hey, JP gave himself up with his own words. Oh, okay, I'm going to sue you now. Okay. What? Then shut the hell up and stop talking, dude. And I said that a while back, and everybody got mad at me and said, no, let him keep talking. He's an enigma. Hair trimmed. Gretchen, I got to do that soon too. The dirt access road. Every step. Yeah, Sophia, everything. From the announcement to the 911 call to the way he, told the congregation. And I got to tell you something. I spoke to somebody who was in that church that day. And they told me that after the announcement was made, and I just want you to imagine this. So I think there's 2 services. It was about 700 people that left, or let's say 600. So each service is about 200 to 300 people sitting there sobbing, just sobbing over the loss of Micah. That's how many people's lives she helped, and touched. Absolutely. Oh, so what? Okay, so what did Ice Spice say? I'm sorry that I missed it. Let me look. About the river. He said he never knew about that river, and she showed him he never knew it led to the slough. Okay, well, really? Are you sure about I don't know. He's made it sound as if he knew that river very well, and now all of a sudden you don't know about that little creek. Now remember, 1281 is not the property that belongs to Tommy Walters. It's actually, nobody owns it. It's just an empty property, but across the street is where Mr. Walters either lives or owns that house. And, okay, so let's say the phone pinged there. It doesn't necessarily mean that the phone was right there either. I mean, I'm not saying that I believe anything that he says, but when CJ and Trey's trip into that slough totally made me see it differently. Bags of concrete. Okay, let me see that, what you just said. Had they planned to wear it down? I think so. I think something spooked them to stop them from finishing the job. That's what I think. The highway? You mean Princess Anne? He didn't know about Princess Anne? Which highway are we talking about? Veronica. Veronica's, okay, let's not attack Veronica. Veronica's trying to find the truth. 74? 74. Oh, is that the highway in between the gas station going up to it leads directly to the path where she was found? Go through all of that to do that. For money, they would. For money, they would. Again, when you look at somebody's background, you look what they do for a living, you know what they make, let's say annually. And then you see them driving around in a $30,000, $40,000 car. And let's not forget, and I can't say who he said it to, but the fisherman did say that he bought that car cash. Where'd you get the car cash from? How'd you get the cash? Where'd you get the cash from? All these people showing up with cash, so I think we're going to have a lot of surprises. And a lot of people, it drives me crazy when people go, what is it taking so long for? Why is it taking so long for the FBI? I think the FBI went, when they looked at this case and they kept investigating just like us, they kept finding more and more attached to it. I spy, that only happens when I'm going to have to pray first, because there's times where I have to listen to it a few times. It took me 2 months to say, let me go back and listen to our fisherman. And then when I did, and each interview was like, he's saying something different here, he's saying something different here, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. He seems like the kind of guy who normally wouldn't do something like this or get involved in something like this. But maybe, when you're struggling to pay your bills and keep the lights on, somebody comes along and says, all I need you to do is just find her bag. It's his own wording. They were not prepared. It was not like they got together and said, okay, listen, there's a bunch of super sleuths on the internet who are going to come and descend down on us and pick apart our lives. So here's our story. No, they thought that this was just going to happen. This lazy ME was going to come along and give this, default, death certificate explanation, which is exactly what it looks like. It was, excuse my expression, but gunshot wound 101 kind of information. And that it was going to be swept under the rug within days, that JP was just going to walk away and live his life and make her out to be mental, and that she did this to herself, and everybody just agree with it. That's how it was, and get over it. And because that's not what happened, they're all scrambling to figure out what their answer is. I don't think they expected that at all. If anyone is suing JP, I haven't seen anything about that, so I don't know. Yeah, bank records. Yeah. I can't wait till that comes out. I don't think that's ever going to come out for us, but the feds will say something about it. Yes, I did. I reached out to Baden. I did reach out to Dr. Baden and sent him the whole story. So hopefully he answers. Splatters. Do you mean at the scene, Carrie? Because, okay. So here's one of the things that I had caught early on that made no sense, and then it started to make sense as time went on. Robeson County, and I know I've said this before, so forgive me for repeating myself. Robeson County being in North Carolina, every state has their own FBI, every state has their own state bureau of investigation, every state has their own attorney general. Why are you going to South Carolina? Because I believe Robeson County, through whatever they were investigating, found that it happened. And yes, well, that's because it didn't happen in North Carolina. It happened in South Carolina. And that's why I believe that there was a livor mortis on the posterior, and she was prone. Overwhelming response indeed. Yeah, from strangers. He never expected it. And I guess he feels that he could just go around suing people. Well, that doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. First of all, social media, there is a freedom of speech for everyone. If you have your own opinion, you have your own opinion. And if you're reporting on facts, then what are you going to do? You're going to sue somebody for reporting on facts? The delusional is off the charts. Exactly. Well, okay, so thank you, Sharon. In the same interview, okay, it's like talking on both sides of your mouth. When you live in Robeson County, and this is his words, when you live in Robeson County and you hear a gunshot, you go in the other direction. Okay, then why did you go in that direction? Am I on crack here? Like, what? Help me out. So you're saying that in Robeson County, you hear a gunshot, you would never go towards it, but you did. So then you must have known what was going on, dude. Hello? This thing on? You know what I mean? It's like, yes. And he said that on one or two interviews. So it makes no sense to me. Don't worry, Katie. I'm telling you, the feds are like 10 steps ahead of us. The access, well, Lila, if you remember, her attorney, Regina Ward, said, and I think it was July 29th, like an hour before court, where she said there was barely anything anywhere for her to run. But she had a family to run to. And every time she ran to her family, he would, harass. I mean, who's to say what he would have done at those shelters? This is a groomer. This is a JP is the king of harassment. Right. Well, everybody that's been out at that lake, Kristen, gets no service. None. So where'd you call Charles from? Yeah. Where'd you call him from? He said he was at the river, whatever. Yeah. 10:30, 11 o'clock. So you left the river to call Charles at 1:27? And shockingly, only moments before Micah pulls up at the gas station. How amazing. Yeah, I know, Heather. You know what the problem is, Heather? The laws need to deter abusers from doing that. That's the problem. I'm going to give you an example. So yesterday, but the girl Melissa who runs the protests, I forgot her last name already. Forgive me, Melissa, if you're listening. The one who runs the protests for the church, she had contacted me. She was upset. She was like, Channel 13 came out on Sunday and did all this footage, and now they're saying they're going to can the story. She goes, would you mind contacting me, asking why? Because I was the one, told him what was going on. Please go out there. So I sent an email real quick over to News 13, and it's the guy, the director there. What the hell was his name? You think of Nick? Well, whatever. It's unimportant. I'll tell you if you want later. But anyhow, so he shoots me an email real quick, and he says, Miss Ann, could you call me real quick so we can discuss this even more? And I said, okay. So I call him, and I mean, the minute I said hello, he was jumping down my throat, yelling at me that they have been covering the Micah Miller case from the very beginning, and who am I? I said, what do you mean, who am I? I said, I'm the one who called you and told you about the protests and what was going on there. And he says, yeah, but are you one of our viewers? And I said, well, I've been watching you for the past 5 months. And what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What's your point? What's the point you're trying to make? And he goes, well, I don't understand what your part in this is. And so I went off. So I'll tell you what my part is. I'm the one who had called the ACLU for the protesters. I'm the one who called the lawyers for the protesters. I'm the one who's been supporting the protesters, protecting the protesters. And I'm speaking on behalf of Micah's mother. Is that good enough for you? And then he went with his attitude. And I said, so he goes, well, we've been covering the Micah Miller case from the very beginning. I said, what the hell does that have to do with why you're canning the story? This is the guy from the director at News 13. My point is, it's funny how men from that area feel that they could talk to a woman like that. And as soon as you talk back to them, Eric Z tried to do that. Now I know he's not from that area, but there are some men that just feel like they can do that. And then when you turn around and say, oh yeah, and you come back at them, all of a sudden they shrink down, whoop, to where they usually are, where they started off at. So yeah, I said, you know what? I'll have Melissa call you because obviously you want to talk to somebody from Myrtle Beach. And that was it. That was the end of our conversation. It took me an hour to get over that. My blood pressure was through the roof. No, he told me on the phone, I never said I was going to can it. And I said, well, then why does she think you're going to can it? And he said, well, have her call me. And I said, okay, great, and hung up the phone. He was so super, really, really rude. I'm helping you out in your news outlet. And just for the record, when he said to me, are you from Myrtle Beach? I'm like, dude, do you realize that this story is global? That it's beyond Myrtle Beach? So there's like this cognitive dissonance that goes through. I don't know if it's in the friggin' water over there, but with the men in that area, nothing personal. If you're from that area, please forgive me. Me? Am I in Florida? No. And my daughter is in Palm Beach. She's not. Yeah, he was rude. He was a jerk. He was, yeah. And I don't know why, because I'm trying to help him out here, She would not have been able to be helped by. No. And well, I wasn't, Lila, it wasn't me. It was Regina Ward who confirmed that in a bubble. Yeah. Oh, hey, Mr. Francis, how you doing? Absolutely. And this is such a highly charged emotional story. Is it really wise? And here I in the email, it's Amplag.org, and it's got my Creator Class magazine. So you're talking to somebody else who has an outlet, and so you would think that he would be like back and forth, like a normal human being. But I mean, he went off. Yes, Kristen. Yes, it was. Yeah. He's not from Myrtle Beach, which I found funny. So you only want people from Myrtle Beach to watch the news about Micah? I don't know. Maybe he needed to have a drink or something. Maybe he didn't get it from his wife the night before. I have no idea. Susie should be worried. Susie. Okay, so who was it that just covered? Was it RH? Robbie, right? Covered Chris Skinner. If you guys can go back If you haven't seen it yet, I did a video on Chris Skinner and the wheelchair. My mother-in-law is in a very similar wheelchair. And you don't need to have the very same wheelchair like brand. It is very, very easy for a tech-savvy person to hook up one of those chairs to a, what do you call it? Game console, I think they said, or game the thing that you use your the help me, Lord. Thank you, controller. Okay, yeah. So the controller, and I found a whole bunch of material on that, and actually did a video on that. Now, why do I say that? Because one, there was an hour missing from the footage, which I found very interesting. There's always camera problems whenever these things happen with JP Miller. So there's an hour missing from the footage of that happening. And Robbie talks about that. And the other thing was, and Robbie talks about it because, and it's obviously the truth because it's documented on whomever had seen, I guess, the video, that here's Chris, who was at that pool every day, going around the pool, stops, and then all of a sudden lunges. You know, why do I say all that regarding Susie? I think that they have secrets on each other, is my point. I think they have control over each other. Yeah, the chess thing. Yeah. Isn't it funny how the person who was supposed to play chess with Chris never came out and said, yeah, I was the one that was supposed to meet with him? Where's that person? Why aren't they in the report? Trish, don't even get me started on Trish. Dear God. Trish. She did this thing on Facebook where she was talking about how she went through abuse and she could see from a mile away, and she didn't see that with Micah. Boy, I also did something on that too. On that. That made me nuts. Who's on Christian Mingle? Oh, JP. Didn't he lie about his age or something? He was given that wheelchair by somebody who was very generous. But those wheelchairs, if you know what you're doing, I know, barf stellar indeed. If you know what you're doing, and I've heard rumor, it's nothing that's been confirmed, that JP has got some tech savviness. So, music artist. Yeah, I know where you're going with that, Gina. Is he still there? I don't know. I think Agatha May was the one who brought us to the attention of seeing, what was JP, had like a suit on or something. JP's a clown? On spot, if that's what you're saying, Mr. Francis. Absolutely. And that clown's going to find himself in federal prison. You mark my words. You mark my words on that. Christian Mingle. You know how many people are on Christian Mingle in these Christian dating sites that are like scammers? Yeah. So he's very technically, to be inclined towards AI and to know how to manipulate it, you really have to be tech savvy to some degree under the prison. And they're not Christian. No. If you watch that show, Catfished, and this is where a lot of these Christian widows, breaks my heart, and they meet these men from another country like India, Nigeria, whatever, take advantage of them. And they're all on these sites. That he was still married in that secret interview. I picked up on that, Sally. I don't think he meant Micah. I don't think he meant Micah. JP's always playing a game, and so he's going to say things, because he probably had an idea that video was going to get out. It was going to be leaked out. And he was right. to a real discussion about hotlines and shelters so that we can. I think that it's going to be a very empowered story, Lila. I think it's going to be it's going to be easier to do that when we can prove that Micah's life was taken from her. March 10th sermon, sure, absolutely. If it's something that I can debunk with the word of God, I will absolutely be all over that like white on rice. They aren't divorced, still married. Yep, I've seen that too. Yeah, Emmy, I agree. I think that a lot of things, as soon as, and I said this to CJ a while back, and I believe it even more today. As soon as JP and his flying monkeys are in cuffs, and we know the actual truth through the authorities, and that day will come. I pray soon. There's going to be information stuff that comes out of the woodworks by people that were afraid. They were afraid to come out, and that's when there's going to be a lot of power on the side of protecting abused women. I totally see and understand why Micah called him. I believe Micah called him a double agent because I think she was calling him out. See, he tells the truth without telling the truth. I think that she stood up to him. Anybody ever hear that little clip of Micah kind of laughing and saying something about, I can't remember exactly what the words were, but you could just hear in her voice she was fed up. Like, I've got something on you, or you wouldn't want me to. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you could just tell this was a wife who was done. And so with that being said, I know you guys must think, somebody must know what I'm talking about. I think it's Crime and Theories might know what I'm talking about. It's this little snippet in the beginning. Yes, okay, it's a little clip. And her voice is kind of low, and she's kind of, like a little evil laugh going on. I was so proud of her to hear that. Well, with that being said, when he had said that she was talking about double agents, if you remember the whole thing that he said, you're a double agent, you stole from me, and I'm going to put you in jail. Okay, well, let's translate that. You've got a double life, you've robbed me of mine, and I'm going to put you in jail. Hello. That's what I think she was saying. See, she became a massive threat. And 2 days after she has him checkmate indeed, 2 days after she has him served, why get rid of her? Well, you know why? Because discovery would have destroyed him. And with Regina Ward, and he said she was a shark, Regina Ward would have wiped the floor with him. Yeah, double agent. He had a double life. Exactly what she was saying, and he did not want that to come out. Allison, for the sake of the kids, was like, you know what, I'll just get out of my hair and go away, and we'll leave it at that. And I understand why she did that. Oh, have you heard the name Tim Moore or how he's connected to? No, Danielle. I never heard of Tim Moore. But anyway, Allison, I think she was just so happy to get rid of him after all those years and was protecting her kids that she just wanted him to go away. But with Micah, I mean, this was a girl who was groomed early, lost her marriage to Jeremy, which today she probably would have still been happy with him. He put her through absolute hell, and so she was a threat. She knew too much. Somebody said that, and that's the absolute truth. She knew too much. She did not go on vacation. There is nothing to prove. First of all, if you go back and look, unless JP knows how to teleport, how was he during the days that he was supposed to be on vacation, standing on the altar and preaching? And if you go and look for those sermons now, you got to pay to watch them. So, nope. Wrong again, JP. Yeah. Right. Agatha May debunked it indeed. That's right. Yeah, Tim Moore. Tim Moore, do tell Danielle. Oh, that rhymed. That's funny. So I'm going to give it another 15 minutes, guys. And so, what I wanted to do, and thank you guys, I know some of you were working and you still showed up. I was thinking about doing an evening. Um, so everybody that, from work can show up and whatever. And I figured maybe at the end of the week, maybe Thursday night, we do an hour and a half get together like this. Okay. Thank you, Danielle. And you see, Veronica's getting ready for work. And we get together, we talk about the new stuff that's come on. It was better than I thought, JMW. And we get together and even what you guys have heard and learned, your eyes and your ears, what you hear and see, anything that we should look into. And then don't think for 1 minute that when the feds come out and go, okay, we've, arrested these people, that it's over. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the aftermath that comes out. And not just with that, there's a lot of other stuff going on, Diddy wise, that's going to, I heard that the Epstein list is starting to resurface again. So, and who knows, there might be connections to what we're talking about right now to all that garbage. So, absolutely, Sophia. On LinkedIn, I'm so bad at looking at LinkedIn. Go to the Creator to Class on Facebook. I have a better chance of hearing that. And message me there. Thank you, guys. You made it awesome, really. Thank you, Kelly. I try to keep it that way. I got to tell you, I've done a lot of repenting in the past 3 or 4 months. Thank you to JP Miller and the Flying Monkeys. So, because I get really angry, I'm sure you guys do too. Wild About Dreams, hello. So, maybe like Thursday evening, you guys think good time to do that? I mean, not this Thursday, we'll make it for the following Thursday, but this was like I love you guys too. No, January. As far as I know, no. A man that does not take care of his family and his relatives worse than an infidel. Go figure. Yes, justice for Micah, indeed. Okay, so tomorrow's the 10th. So let's say 17th, which would be Thursday, and I'll put an announcement out, whatever. 8 o'clock, good. I mean, I'm Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what you guys are. If 8 o'clock is too late for you, we're, okay, wonderful. All right, that's what we will do. Micah Strong, indeed. And I'm not sure if you guys, I'm more than positive most of you are watching. Thank you, Kristen. The protests, let's support those protesters. Support. I'm modding for Melissa Pfeiffer. That's it, Melissa Pfeiffer on TikTok. But there's also CJ, there's Guru. So, whatever you can do to support those people, please do. You're an hour ahead. Okay. So 8, 9, we'll only do an hour and a half, unless I start chatting away or unless something huge happens. I'm glad CJ's back too. CJ and the kitty. Guru, so I'm glad you asked that question real quick. I asked him if he would be able to, and he is able to cover the protests. He just can't go and, zoom in on JP, but then who would want to? You got enough people doing that, but yeah, I think he can cover the protests itself. So I'm almost 90% sure that he will be at the protests. I like that, Veronica. Funny. You guys are funny. Thank you for showing up, Mr. Francis. That is so awesome of you to be here. We love your family. We love your daughter. We're going to fight for her till the very end, maybe even beyond. Who knows? Online protests. Yes, thank you, Veronica, for the reminder. I will do that very soon and try to, within the next hour, and pick out a really awesome, I Am Melissa's Mod, yes, on TikTok. A really awesome song to go with it. So, all right, guys, I absolutely adore you. I thank God that I met all of you guys, and yes, I have to send out those reminders. No big deal. Yeah, get out of my way, mail. I need the reminders too, so I actually have it on my what do you call calendar. Anyhow, so I'm gonna go have lunch and then apps pray for Florida. I have been praying for Florida, but if you want me to do a real quick prayer right now, I pray in the name of Jesus Christ that storm dissipates, that the angels of the Lord, God sends out legions of warrior angels out of heaven to destroy that storm, absolutely destroy it, to make it into nothing more than a rainstorm, that there will be no flooding, there will be no damage to homes and cars and communities, there will be no surges, there will be no lightning strikes and fires, there will be no lives taken away, and nobody injured, no incidents, accidents, traumas, or tragedies, no tornadoes, no damage that it was meant to do and shrink down to where it deserves to be. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, we pray, amen. Blood of Jesus over the state of Florida. Amen, 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 amen. Okay, Kylie, contact me if you want about that. We'll talk. All right, guys. It's been great, and we'll see you soon. All right, and until the next time, God bless.